What is going on, everybody? So I am back today to talk about a film that was released this year that I remember when this film got announced and there was a lot of talk about it and people were like, oh my goodness, I hope that this is interesting or that something unique comes out of it. And I put off watching it for a really long time because the reviews I read for this thing were horrible. Just like it seems like unanimously this film is absolutely hated. And I finally decided, it's only like an 80-some minute movie. I will check it out. And the film I'm going to be discussing today is Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey is directed by Rhys Frake-Waterfield. Christopher Robin is headed off to college and he has abandoned his old friends, Pooh and Piglet, which then leads the duo embracing their inner monsters. So I remember when this movie first got announced because Winnie-the-Pooh had become public domain. And for those of you out there that don't know, obviously when you create something or you invent an IP or your family has rights to something, you can't just go make a movie about it. Like, especially something like Winnie-the-Pooh that's been owned by the Disney Corporation. It's something that, is a beloved children's property, but there's a clause in any sort of contract that after a person dies, there's a specific amount of years afterwards that eventually it becomes available in the public domain and anyone can make a movie using that source material. And so it was announced very shortly after this became public domain that this creator wanted to make a slasher film using the characters from Winnie-the-Pooh. And to me, it's hilarious because I'm someone who really loves Disney. There's a lot of things that are attached to my childhood that I really appreciate. But I think that, a movie could be really sadistic and fun that takes, a children's property like that and kind of makes it twisted and wrong in a way if it's put in the hands of the right director. And this movie was not put in the hands of the right director. This is one of the worst things I have watched this year. If I watch anything worse this year, I will be very, very surprised. This movie was so painful to get through. Every second I was watching this, I was like, can we please just wrap this up? Can it be over? It's completely non-creative. It has no tension. The kills are terrible. There's really nothing worthwhile about this whatsoever. As the plot description states, the beginning of the film, you're introduced to Christopher Robin. We get this little backstory, which was probably the most creative part of the film, was this voiceover narration about Christopher Robin hanging out with Winnie-the-Pooh. They talk about Winnie-the-Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore and all of them not just being animals, but being like animal-human hybrids almost, like changing the lore of what Winnie-the-Pooh is just a little bit. And they talk about, being close with Christopher Robin. And then Christopher Robin grows up and decides to go to college. He leaves them on their own, and they essentially get to the point where they start to starve, and they decide to kind of flip to their animal instincts and just start killing people. So Christopher Robin comes back to the woods with his girlfriend. There's this whole sequence with the two of them, and then we cut to this entirely different group of people. It's this group of girls who are going to this cabin near where Pooh and his friends live. And they're there because one of the girls has been dealing with a stalker and she's struggling in her own life with these issues, and they're kind of just trying to get away to do something different as a distraction from that. And the movie plays on from there where the girls start getting killed off one by one. And this is a movie that should have been really fun or so bad that it's entertaining, but it's just awful. The performances are all terrible. There is not a single performance in this that is memorable or so bad that it's entertaining. All the line delivery is so flat. The sequences with the kills are shot so flat and uninterestingly that the camera will just linger on certain sequences, like with just the guy in the Pooh mask just standing there, like waiting to walk towards someone, almost like he wasn't given the direction and told to go. And so most of it is just uncomfortable would be the word that I would use. It just seems like no one really knew what they were supposed to be doing with this movie. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, okay, clearly they had this concept that could have been really interesting. But even looking at the characters, they say that Eeyore died at the beginning of the movie, so there's one character you don't have to deal with. And this movie is just Pooh and Piglet. There's none of the other characters in it. It's just the two of them. And so it's like, why did you even choose this route to go in the first place if you're not going to include more of the world? And the whole inclusion of Christopher Robin is just so sloppy and stupid. It doesn't, I don't know, it feels like it could have just been something entirely different, not attached to this source material. But the biggest problem with this is it's just so goddamn boring. There is really nothing to attach yourself onto. The kills are all really poorly done. There's not great visual effects in this. A lot of it looks like it was done very cheaply on a computer in a way that like a freshman in college and film school could have pulled this off. I don't know. I just really disliked this movie a lot. I don't really have all that much to say about it because it was so bad. And I don't have any idea how they got the funding to do the second one. I saw on Letterboxd that they have announced they're doing another one, and I don't know who's going to want to watch this because I follow quite a few people on Letterboxd, and across the board this is 0.5-star to 1-star ratings of just people who talk about the miserable experiences that they had sitting through this. And yeah, I don't have anything good to say about this movie. It was absolutely horrible. So have you seen Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was horrible. It was absolutely terrible. There's no redeeming qualities in this. Just skip it at all costs. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.